Yo, how we doing today? Monday. When we went on Forex Factory this morning, we had no news today, which kind of made me more hesitant today. I have to say, I was a little bit more hesitant. If we pull up Notion, my plan pre-market was as follows. I put in a short bias. As you can see here, let me just move that. You can see it was edited 3 hours ago, so this was my honest bias, right? I wanted to just kind of go over that because I had a short bias, and I had this obviously as the picture, and I had a short bias. I'll kind of go over why I had a short bias going to open, and why I would say price action was good-ish, right? I haven't filled out my journal yet, but what I was looking at going into open was, let's get rid of this, and let's go here. A break even on the day. I'll kind of go over that, but I do want to just go over the charts here and what I was looking at going to open. I'll get rid of this and show you guys how I found that. And then data low was the draw on liquidity, it turns out. But anyways, the reason for, if we go to a naked chart here, the reason for the bearish bias was plain and simple. We had this 1 hour gap right here, which was an inversion, and we had an SMT here. So we had an SMT here at these highs, and we inversed this 1 hour gap. We traded back into the 1 hour fair value gap right off open. We'll kind of go over that, and then we displaced lower, and we also just inversed this 1 hour gap, and then we sent down and took out the data low. Since the data low has been taken, I'm not as that's really the objective for the day. I'm not really too sure where else we'd go. We're going to probably rebalance this fair value gap, but I do want to pull up the chart again. And this will be now a point of interest to see price draw into. They then go lower or higher. It will kind of set us up for the rest of the week. But I do want to kind of mention how price action looked off open, right? What did we do off open? I kind of want to go here actually. And off open, we actually looked a little bit more, we looked bearish, but off open, we were a lot more choppy, right? And that's kind of what made it a little bit tricky today, in my opinion. 4 hour, starting to run through this 4 hour imbalance. We still have a little bit of time to close that. But if we go to the 15-minute chart, this is what I was talking about with the SMT right here, or here at least. This high here is this high on ES right here, and we do not end up ever taking that out. So we have an SMT there. That was the first part of the bearish bias, like I said. And then going into open, if we mark out this 1 hour fair value gap right here, this untapped 1 hour fair value gap right there. So if we mark out where that was on the chart, we can see that it was right here at this high, and we hadn't swept it yet until market open 9:30. So what did we get? We actually had a cool little setup right off open. I didn't personally indulge in just because I don't like taking setups right off open, but we had a 5-minute inversion right here. And if you target this low, that would be good. That's probably where you go break even, scale some. If you were targeting this lower, you get stopped out. But this worked. This wick might look like it would stop you out, but this wick came after the fact. Like it came down first and then went up. Again, I don't like that just because I don't trade right before open, but that was a nice little setup. We had all these stacked lows. But yeah, I just don't like it because we didn't tap into the 1 hour yet. So again, this is the 1 hour gap. We trade above it off open, and then we actually do create an SMT here. So we had the 1 hour gap as well on ES, but it wasn't as clean. If we have the 1 hour gap here, what did I just do there? Okay, there. We had the 1 hour gap right here. We had already traded into it though before the market opened. So if we drop to the 5-minute, again, we can see that we already traded to it. But where we had a SMT was right at this high here, which was 730. We didn't take out 730 high, and then we didn't take out 930 high. So if we go to the 1 minute chart here, again, this is the 1 hour imbalance. If we go to the 1 minute chart on ES, where was it? Market open here, right? This is market open, and as you can see here, we have this high here on ES. Does not get taken, or by this one here. So we have this high get put in here inside the 1 hour, and then we have an SMT inside the 1 hour fair value gap. And at this point, this was looking bearish. We did fail to displace higher. We didn't even get a close above this body barely. And then at this point, you can start anticipating a lower price. So that's kind of like what I saw with the ES and NQ. So I'm going to get rid of the ES here. We don't need the ES up right now while we're going over this. But I did want to just pull that up to kind of show that. So after you get that bias, the entry short would have been this 2-minute inverse. I didn't take it just because if we look at price action this time, this looked like a typical no news Monday, right? We were just kind of going up and then we were just stalling down. I mean, this price action was really, really slow until 10 o'clock really opened up, and then right before 10:30 we started running. But before that, price was really choppy and I didn't really see anything clear in here, even though in hindsight, obviously the 2-minute inverse, and I was looking at it live, but it really didn't look clean. Something that would have been better would have been this 5-minute gap right here, even though it's not, again, not the cleanest, but it had a little bit more of efficiency after closing. We hold it once, twice, and then the third time we break through, you would get in on the close, or you could get on the retest. If you got in on the close, your stop would be, I would say maybe this 1 hour gap, 18 points, maybe put it at the high, and then you TP at this low, and then you can hold to the data low, and you would have made a ton of money. So I didn't get in there. As you can see, this trade would have worked out great. Again, why did I not get in? If we zoom in on this spot in time, the 1 minute just looked really choppy. So at this moment in time, let me mark out the close of that, or the open of that 5-minute body here. At the time, right, this was the price action, and this didn't really look like, oh, we're going to dump and we're not going to come back up. So I didn't love getting in there, and I guess that's a mistake, or it's just, you know, recognizing the conditions you want to trade. I don't really know if I'm going to consider a mistake or not, but after that, I knew data lows was coming in, so I wanted to see the data lows get taken at this point, especially if we started running through this. But I wanted to see us come into this 5-minute right here, or the 15-minute to get some sort of reaction there, and we never were able to get that. The closest thing we got was we didn't get it at all, actually, but what we did get was a 2-minute inversion right here, a 2-minute inverse right here. I did end up getting in on this, and this one was annoying because I didn't really love it, and I got in with 1 micro because I wanted to see us come back up. So I was getting in with the hope, or not hope, but with the idea that maybe we were gonna stop out. And get an inversion off this high here, maybe an SMT, and get a better entry. So I went in with 1 micro, and the trade would have played out fantastic. But I'll kind of show you guys what I end up doing here. Get rid of that. That's the wrong one. What I ended up doing here on this trade, you know, frustrating to say the least. But again, there's a lot of things going through my head. I wanted to see us go to the 5-minute, so it was kind of like, you know, if I get in here and it dumps, we'll take it, and if it doesn't, then, you know, we'll wait for the better entry. But I also positioned myself accordingly because I was like, yo, I'm probably going to get stopped out here. So it closed, I got in, and when it was stalling, I was just like, I don't know, because also, yeah, ES took out the data low at the time, so we had a big SMT, and there's something about it that just felt weird. So I end up was like, okay, I'm just going to go to break even and get stopped out of this trade. I don't really like it anymore. Right, just kind of stinks because that's just not good. That's just hindsight, man. And how many times do I have to look at myself and say, man, if I would have just held my trade, right? And again, I'm tired of telling it to myself, but that's the reality that I live, and I do a lot, where it's just like, you know, if I would have just held my stop, right, above this candle's high, just 26 points, risk $50, right? Maybe we even move it down to this high, right? Just $50, $50. Maybe I risk the top of this candle, whatever. Maybe I even want to risk less and risk the fair value gap. Would have never got tapped. Really anything I could do except for go break even, and we would have got this. It would have taken a while, and then we would have just dumped, and then we finally reached the data low. So that was a good trade. Again, I wanted to see price come higher. That's why I was hesitant. That's why I made those mistakes, because I didn't see everything I wanted to see, so it kind of threw me off a little bit, made me a little bit more, a little bit less belief in the trade, which, you know, again, isn't doesn't mean that I did the right thing. It's just something I have to recognize and realize why did I get out of the trade early? What was the main reason? What was kind of driving that decision? And it was just really the SMT with ES at the time. This was at 1040. If we go to ES at the time, 1040. This was the data low. 1040. If we look here, 1040 was right here. We had already ran this data low, so I was like, okay, I don't know. It wasn't the best decision, but it happens. Right now, something interesting that's happening is we have a 30-minute SMT fair value gap. We tapped into the 30-minute gap here on ES, and on NQ we haven't. I'll kind of show you guys that real quick. NQ, we didn't tap into this 30-minute gap right here, as you can see right here, so that's kind of interesting. But we are really choppy right now. A nice entry would have been this low right here. We sweep it and we get an inversion. It's not like the greatest setup ever, but it's pretty solid. You get a good solid like 30 points to this high. Never gonna reach these targets today, it seems like, but yeah, it would have been solid for sure. And it's like, dude, this market's tempting me with the LR, just to long this if we get it. You know what I'll do? I'll do it on 1 micro for you guys. Micro chart. I'll do it 1 micro and I'm locking my account no matter what happens here, but I just feel like these equal highs are going to be hit if we get it. But yeah, that was the kind of trade recap or like the recap of the market. I think market delivered pretty clean. Yeah, I think the market delivered pretty clean. Frustrating, and obviously we just didn't get that close, so I don't know. Something about this close would have just been very fishy if we did get it and run these highs. I would have taken just 1 micro just to see, but it's not given to me, so whatever. But we are delivering from this 5-minute gap, and we did sweep the low. Again, it's kind of like a pattern there. This is a 5-minute gap, so it doesn't really look that good. Again, nothing crazy, but I was interested to give it a try because, we had mainly, honestly, the only reason I would have really liked that is this relative equal highs and these highs here. If we got a strong close above, then I could really expect us to get that high, but we're not going to get it. So back to what I was explaining. Yes, I mean, that's pretty much it for the market recap. What did I come into the day with? I came into the day, on a Monday, expectations, right? When you kind of set yourself up to be like, it's Monday, whatever. It gets kind of hard to trade because, a lot of it, trading is just kind of believe in your setup, believe in your model. And today I didn't really trust this to play out. I'm not upset with myself for it. It is frustrating. I mean, the 1 micro I took, if I would have held this low, which I don't really see why I wouldn't have. We didn't have some big, after you get through this chop here or this slowness, right, you get an acceleration. You don't really, I really can't imagine I would have been getting out here. I mean, obviously I got out way before, so clearly I have a problem with it. But again, once you get through this, you get some separation. I'm at break even, right? Like this run down, I'm sure that I would have been able to get. And that would have been a nice day. We'd have, a nice solid win, a nice solid trade. But again, why did I not do it? I wanted to see this 15-minute traded to first. I wanted to see maybe the 5-minute. I wanted to see some sort of retracement because I'm a lot more confident seeing something like this right here where we get into this 5-minute and then we maybe do like an SMT and then we get an inversion. I'm way more confident in myself getting a trade here and getting the inverse and catching the leg down than I am just no retracement really. And then dump, right? I'm not as confident. So that's why I ended up taking it with 1 micro because I was really just kind of expecting the stall. And when we had the SMT here and had the data low, I kind of just killed it early. Again, not good, but yeah, that's why I did it. That's why I killed the trade, just because I was like, okay, this thing, I don't know how much I like anymore. Do I really want to take a loss here? And yeah, so I did that. So yeah, that's the reason why. That's kind of where my head was at during that. But yeah, it's cool, right? It's cool. We come back. Tomorrow's another day. Oh yeah, what I wanted to show was this. On the 5-minute, we actually had a nice standard deviation projection right here. I'll show you guys. If you use the SD, if any of you guys are into that stuff, right, I took it from the high here because this was the high that we manipulated right here, and this was the leg up from the manipulation. Okay, I did on the 5 minute. Did on the 5 minute. So this is the high that we manipulated right here. We manipulated the high here, and we came from this high. If you anchor that, I actually do this. If you anchor the high, you can see that the 2 to 2.5 lines up perfectly with our sell side or buy side, whatever side it is. I always get that mixed up. I don't know if I think buy side's the high side, sell side is the bottom, but I never really know. It doesn't really matter to me. But lines up perfectly with our liquidity pool, the data low. And what can you expect? You can expect us to go to equilibrium after hitting that low. So that's why you could kind of expect if a setup presented itself to get to this level at least. But let's see. But we didn't get there yet, and that's kind of why like equal highs is kind of interesting to me. But that's the standard deviation projection. I haven't really used that in a while. I haven't really looked at it, but it lined up perfectly today. And again, the bigger time frame model today was super clean. We had a 1 hour fair value gap, traded up a bit against it, had a small time frame SMT, had manipulation at the high, inversion here, so small to see. Again, today was not textbook. That's why it kind of sucked. It's because it just wasn't textbook. Right, this is a really small gap, barely can even notice it, really slow through here, and then we got acceleration, no pullback, and straight up. So one of those days that I'm not mad that I didn't do better, but it's frustrating, right? I feel like this is a day that you don't have to be advanced per se. I'm sure a lot of people got trades today, but but to be a successful trader and win and be profitable, you have to be advanced, right? That's the reality. You have to be a good trader to make money. That's just how it goes. So today was a tricky day for me, right? Not saying that it was an impossible day. I'm not saying price action was bad. Price action was just tricky for me to navigate, even though I had a good understanding. Like I said, I showed you guys I had a short bias coming to the day, and I just couldn't get a capitalization off of it, which is cool, right? That's how it goes. But today's price was clean. I'm really happy with the price action. I'm really happy with what I got to watch today. I got to get better. I got to experience price action. I got to learn. So all good things, right? I'm really positive things. I got a lot of experience, so really cannot complain whatsoever. And yeah, we come back and we just try our best again tomorrow, so it's kind of frustrating to have a day where you have a small amount, or not even amount, like right, break even day, especially when you were in a trade that ran to the target. Right, these things aren't going to take care of themselves overnight. It's just good that I didn't go in and chase the entry or over leverage and just jump in with a full contract when it was like right here and just try and make a few $100 quick, because that wouldn't do anything for me. That really wouldn't. Being able to just sit there and say, okay, cool, I got out early, let's see it deliver, right? Let's see what happens. And then we got a nice price run. So again, I want to start being able to capitalize on this, because there's no reason that I couldn't have got in on this move and benefit, but it is what it is, right? And I'll get there, right? I don't need to be the best. I don't need to be whatever right now. I just want to keep working, keep getting better, and keep learning, right? I don't need to be the best. I don't need to be whatever. I don't need to. That's all just ego. That's not, getting better at trading. That's just saying, how can I make money, right? Because if I got into the trade here because, it could go lower, and I just got in, and I did this, right here. Let's see. Let's just say I got in the trade here, and I'm like, I'm just going to go short here. This looks good. I'm going to leave my stop here, and I'm just going to target the data low. Oh my gosh, I'm a genius trader, right? If you get into a trade and you just get lucky, or you just, get a big move, right, it doesn't really mean that you're that good. It's just, you can get lucky. Anyone can get lucky, right? I could just push the button. I could just push short button. Had a great risk reward, 6 risk reward, right? Put it on this high, even better. I could have had a dang 10 risk reward at this high. 11. I could have had 11 RR today. And if I somehow caught this move, what's that going to do for me? It's not going to really do anything for me besides just fuel my ego. If I can't repeat it, if I don't know what I'm actually doing, if I don't know why I did it, right, it's not going to help me in the long run. I think if I can just keep that mindset of okay, we didn't get what we wanted today, but that's fine, because it's not the last day I'm going to trade. It's not going to be the last opportunity ever in the market. It's not going to be any of those things. So there's no need to be upset or to be worried or whatever, right? It's just, we didn't get it today. And eventually we're going to look back on days and we're going to see, an entry here and an exit here. And it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be wow. I'm starting to do it, right? And I'm getting closer and closer every day. And we're going to get there. We're going to get there. And we're getting better every day. it's annoying. Yes, of course it's gonna be annoying. But again, what can you do about it? That's just how things go, right? It's just how things go. You gotta you gotta see it over and over, right? I built more and more conviction, seeing this happen. Okay, maybe if I got in here and just left my stop, okay, it would have played out, right? It would have played out. So then we can just kind of see these things over and over and over. We can kind of learn from them. We can get that experience. We can just say, you know what? Cool, I got to see it, right? Regardless, if I didn't show up today, if I didn't show up and log onto the charts, I wouldn't have got to learn about this. I wouldn't have got to, if I didn't show up today at all, I just took the day off, right? I don't take any other days off. And this is the reason, right? If I don't take days off, I'm gonna, or if I take days off, I miss out, and not on opportunities, but on learning opportunities, right? I got to watch the markets deliver again today. This is day, I've made, like, I don't even remember a day that I've missed looking at the markets. Maybe like once when I was on vacation, when I was like snowboarding. That was like in January this year. Like, I don't miss days, man. I see the market every single day. So that's reps, that's experience, that's time in the market. That's, intuition that you can only get from trading, right? And another day I show up, another day I look at the market, another day I see live price deliver, right? There's nothing better than seeing live price deliver, and that's what I got to do today. So very grateful and very, very happy, right? I'm on my way to what I want. I'm already the person that I need to be to get there, right? I'm becoming that person, so I don't need to worry about the journey, right? I just need to keep trusting that each brick that I lay stacks on top of each other, and we'll get to our goal, regardless how slow or how long, whatever. And I'm excited for that process, man. I'm excited for what we're doing. And it hasn't been easy. It's not gonna be easy, and it's only gonna get easier, right? It's only gonna get easier. So that's something to look forward to. But yeah, man, that's really all I have. I want to see this thing just inverse, and then we just jump in real quick here together. But did you guys see the thing about Casper SMC? That was wild. That was absolutely wild. I'm on the side of, I saw Dodgy tweet out about like supporting him, or not even like supporting him, but just kind of like whatever, long tweet. Go read it if you want to know the context, but I don't know, man. I can't really imagine why he would be in such support of him, because there's just a lot of things don't line up, man. His account says trading for 8 years, like Casper SMC, but then he got arrested like 3 years ago. It's like for you guys, if you guys know, right? I don't want to talk about it on my channel just in case, I don't want any restrictions on my thing for saying anything, but it's like, bro, how can you be doing that 3 years ago? Not saying like whatever, but how can you be like in that world, like making money off it? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you be on that timing and then be trading, quote unquote, for 8 years? Like are you really like sitting here trading full time while doing that? Like, maybe. I'm not saying that you can't, but like, I don't know. It just seems crazy, and it just seems like he's a fraudster, right? Because, dude, he charged like 10 grand for mentorships, and it's like, 10 grand, like, I guess, but it's like, bro, and I don't know. It just seems like he just copy and paste clickbaity, beginner tutorials, like the best strategy for this or best strategy for that, right? The only reason people post the best beginner strategy is to get new people in that don't know anything, and they're like, oh, cool. And then it's like, oh my gosh, this looks like it works. Let me pay this guy. And I'm sorry, but like, I understand trading discords, but I can't understand for the life of me why a trading service would ever be 10 grand. And I understand, okay, cool, if someone was making money, but it's like you're selling to people that aren't making money trading. They're probably trying to get out of their job. 10 grand, dude, like I'm not saying it should be cheap, but you're charging 10K for something like that's not guaranteed. Just because you learn from someone does not mean that you're gonna instantly become profitable. So when you're charging someone 10 grand, it's like, bro, like, what are we doing, man? Like, what are we doing? Like 10K, you're making someone pay you 10 G's, $10,000 of their own money that they had to earn for no guarantee. And I'm not saying like, oh, you have to guarantee profitability, but it's like, why are we charging people 10 grand? Like, I can see like a grand, right? Like for whatever. I can see like even like 5 grand. That's still crazy, but it's like 10 grand, dude. And it's like, I can't imagine anything that he'd say in his thing. And again, I don't know. I wasn't involved with it or anything like that, but it's like I just can't imagine there's 10 grand worth of information from that guy. So just really disappointed. Just another disappointing thing in this space, right? Really is sad to see, and it's sad to see really people defending it. Honestly, it's sad to see Dollar Tree defending it because. Not saying that people can't change and that, whatever. I'm not saying that he can't change at all. It's just like, the trading space is already very just sketchy for new people. So why do we have someone that's very sketchy in the trading space, right? Again, not saying people can't change or whatever, but I just don't like having really sketchy vibes in the trading space because it's such a tough thing to do. And why have these people that and then people will see that and they're like learn from them and it's like, okay, like, is this guy legit, is he not? Why don't we just have people with good track records that can put their money where their mouth is? I don't want to see a clip of you doing something live. I want to see I want to see it all. I want to see your account balance. I want to see all this stuff, right? I don't want to see you just, oh cool, I called this live on my Discord. Like, come on, bro, like, show us the real numbers, right? Show us the numbers, show us the proof. But no need to rant about that again. I'll let you guys know if I end up taking this inverse just because it's looking so just tempting, bro. I feel like I shouldn't. But if I do, it would be 1 micro. And my stop would be like at this low here. Hard stop. So worst case today, we're down like 12, 13 bucks. Like worst case, you'll see me enter maybe. If this candle doesn't do it, then yeah, I'm going to take this. I'm going to take it. We're going to break even at the high. Let's get a little pullback. $13 points. Okay, we're going to just jump in. Micro. Right. We'll lose 30 bucks today if we lose. This kind of stinks because the break even points is pretty close. 7 points. And then we're going to target. Yeah, I should have waited, man. I knew I'd get a dip. We're going to target, who knows, we were at, what, 50 bucks? We're going to just target up here. Let's see if it gets to break even or stops me out. But I'll give this 1 or 2 minutes on the video, and then I'm going to end it, and I'll just let you guys know. I'll give an update. But this will be pretty frustrating if it just stops me out here. And I'll let you guys know if it makes me crash out afterwards. There's always a chance. Yeah, I don't know. I might just close this and just end the day, right? But yeah, this is kind of wild. I'll be so shocked. Let me see what ES is doing. I'll be so shocked if we just rip lower after doing that. I do wish I just waited for the retest, but oh well. Not gonna move my stop, even though I should just put it on this low, but definitely don't want to be risking 40 bucks out here on this bad entry or trade. This 5 minute holds, this will be kind of sketchy. I look, you might just close this and just take the $3 L. I just can't believe the equal highs don't hit. I'm gonna leave it. I'm confident. Probably going to be stopped at break even regardless. I'm just going to go through all this for no reason, but yeah. I'll let you guys know what happens. If we crash out, I'll talk about it in tomorrow's video. So, peace. Hopefully I don't.